Now at 7, the mother of a missing 9-year-old Melody Buzzard in custody tonight. The unrelated charges that led to her arrest.
A deadly encounter.
Flight cuts weeks before the busy holiday travel season.
Tested my luck on this one. That's why I'm checking in early to see what happened.
The FAA is cutting air traffic by 4%, and that number will go up to 10% if this continues. They say actions are necessary to keep skies safe as unpaid traffic controllers face fatigue and staffing shortages. 40 major airports are impacted by the cuts, and that includes here at home.
When I got to the gate, they rebooked my flight. I had one from LA to San Francisco.
California is one of the states being hit the hardest. At LAX, more than 50 flights were canceled today.
As long as we get on the flight, we're good.
I heard this was happening. I was supposed to fly in 3 days. I said, okay, I'm going to get a new one because I wasn't able to get a refund, so I just had to pay extra. I have a lot of flights ahead, so I don't want to miss any of my flights.
So if you're headed out to LAX, make sure you check your flight status constantly and arrive early because a lot of these flight cancellations happen with little to no notice. Back to you.
The mother of missing 9-year-old Melody Buzzard is under arrest tonight, weeks after the young girl was reported missing.
Ashley Buzzard was taken into custody by the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Department on a felony warrant for false imprisonment unrelated to the ongoing search for Melody.
KTLA's Chris Wolf joins us live from Lompoc in front of the Buzzard family home tonight. Chris.
Micah, where is Melody Buzzard? Alive. That is her home. A neighbor tells me that authorities had set up 24-hour surveillance on mother Ashley Buzzard prior to her arrest this Friday morning, accused of holding someone else against their will. The baffling story involves a mother and daughter multi-state road trip, disguises, wigs, and swapping license plate. But at the center is 9-year-old Melody Buzzard of Lompoc in Santa Barbara County, who is missing. Investigators with the sheriff's office say her mother, 40-year-old Ashley Buzzard, has been uncooperative and is now under arrest. However, the case becomes murkier as investigators explain the arrest is not in connection with the disappearance of Melody, but rather something unrelated.
Essentially, they don't feel they have a strong enough case to charge her with murder yet. They don't have a body. They don't have a crime scene. They don't have a murder weapon. And this child could still be somewhere safely, and they just can't locate her.
The FBI is now involved. The case began October 14th when a concerned school official alerted authorities that Melody had been absent for a lengthy period of time. The following investigation uncovered surveillance footage from a car rental company in Lompoc on October 7th, in which Ashley and Melody Buzzard can be seen wearing wigs. They say Ashley returned home alone with no reasonable information regarding her daughter's whereabouts or well-being. Did you know them well? What were they like?
They never came out. They didn't socialize. Something was weird going on.
Is the arrest surprising to you?
No. Should have did it a long time ago.
I think so.
Yeah,
Do you hope that they locate Melody and that she's safe?
of course I do. Beautiful little kid.
Back here live at the Buzzard home on Mars Avenue, Melody's father is deceased. Mom, Ashley Buzzard, was booked into a county jail this morning with bail set at $100,000. Reporting live in Lompoc, I'm Chris Wolf, KTLA 5 News.
Chris, how long have the Buzzards lived at that home? And you just said the father is deceased, but did all three move in as a family?
No, Micah, they didn't move in here as a complete family. We're told that Melody's father passed away when she was just a baby, and then she and her mother moved into that home about 2 years ago. And as we heard from the neighbor in the story, they always kept to themselves.
All right, Chris Wolf reporting for us live. Thank you. Ventura County officials have revealed the likely cause of last fall's devastating mountain fire. Investigators say still hot debris from a tractor fire on October 30th of the last year was uncovered by strong winds about a week later. The oxygen enabled flames to grow and spread beyond a containment area. The mountain fire destroyed nearly 380 structures, including more than 200 homes, and charred 20,000 acres.
Frustration is growing tonight after a report finds thousands of homes in the Eaton fire area remain unsafe due to high levels of lead, asbestos, and other heavy metals. Now homeowners are calling for immediate government action, worried about how this could take a serious toll on their long-term health.
Our schools were closed for a month after the fire, and then we got back. My asthma began majorly flaring up when I returned to school. I couldn't breathe. I had a barking cough. It was hard to speak.
It's completely not possible to go back in. It's totally toxic.
The group Eaton Fire Citizens United is calling for Governor Newsom to declare an ash zone, which would help residents get more insurance relief.
The Los Angeles Sheriff's Department impounded several vehicles used in street takeovers Saturday night after the Dodgers won the World Series. Deputies have tracked down and impounded at least 5 cars so far and say that they've identified several more vehicles they're planning to seize to prevent future takeovers.
86,000 University of California workers are set to walk off the job November 17th and 18th. They accuse the university of neglecting its lowest paid employees while rewarding those at the top. UC officials dispute that, arguing union demands are beyond what the university can reasonably afford. The walkout could be one of the largest labor actions in UC history.
A naked intruder is shot and killed during a Studio City home break-in after being confronted by an armed Vietnam veteran who lives next door. It happened around 7 o'clock in the morning at an apartment complex near Tujunga Avenue and Sarah Street.
Witnesses heard screams before shots rang out. KTLA's Alina Abobian has more from the scene.
Good evening. Well, so many questions in this case. We don't know why this person was in this neighborhood and undressed, but according to the LAPD, he was a man in his 30s. He tried trespassing on the property right here behind us, but he was met with an armed resident. It's the moment gunshots ring out. Multiple fatal shots fired at a naked intruder who allegedly trespassed onto this property, attacking a 79-year-old resident.
The suspect approaches the male 79-year-old and body slams him on the ground.
The victim, who is a Vietnam War veteran, suffered 2 broken legs and was taken to the hospital. He initially confronted the naked man, alerting him he was armed.
Their gate was open, so I think he just kind of walked over there and went into their gate, and she was telling him to get out, go away.
Neighbors telling KTLA the naked man does not live in the area.
He drove from over there, got out of this car.
They say he drove here in this gray Prius, parked the car, and proceeded to walk around the neighborhood without any clothes on, as seen in this surveillance video. It all happened around 7 Friday along the 4,000 block of Tahunga in Studio City.
It's crazy. This is a really safe neighborhood. There's lots of families and working professionals, so it's crazy that something like this would even happen.
Now, as for the elderly man, the victim in this case, we're told that he was taken to the hospital and is now in stable